UFO investigators are hoping to obtain a treasure trove of Pentagon documents generated by a once secret military study of flying saucers and other weird aircraft.
Yeah, the government confirms there was a UFO program. It supposedly ended back in 2012, but the Pentagon has not yet released any reports or files.
So tonight, the I-Team's George Knapp gives us the first look at documents which prove the UFO study was real and was based right here in southern Nevada.
It was in this position I learned that the phenomenon is indeed real.
Last October, former intelligence officer Lou Elizondo revealed he'd been in charge of a secret Pentagon project that studied UFOs. The story picked up steam 2 months later when the New York Times reported the name of the program, ATIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. At the same time, 2 once classified videos were released. One of them, a 2004 encounter between warplanes from the USS Nimitz carrier group and a vastly superior UFO dubbed the Tic Tac.
I received a communication from a man who worked for one of the defense agencies, PhD in physics and math, a brilliant man. And he said, I know everything there is to know about rockets. But he said, I don't know what all these things are about. I don't know.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid started a dialogue with a senior scientist working for the DIA. Alarmed that no one was paying attention to dramatic intrusions by unknown aircraft, Reid and colleagues secured funding for an ongoing study. But it wasn't called ATIP. The original acronym was AWSAP, Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program. In August 2008, DIA posted a solicitation for bids. Weeks later, the contract was awarded to Bigelow Aerospace. The initial amount was $10 million. It required Bigelow to provide a facility that qualified for top-secret work. Harry Reid did not influence the selection process.
There was no direct contract vehicle for Senator Reid to take care of a buddy over here in his state for a contract. That's absolute nonsense.
Space entrepreneur Robert Bigelow's interest in exotic subjects was as obvious as his company logo. He'd spent years and millions of dollars on his own scientific study of UFOs and related topics. For the DIA contract, he created BASS, a separate entity housed within his aerospace plant. He hired a team of 46 scientists and investigators, along with dozens of other support personnel. The agreement with DIA did not mention UFOs at all. It used more generic terms such as future threats and breakthrough technologies, and it specified 12 focal points, including lift, propulsion, materials, versions of stealth, as well as human interface and human effects, meaning Bigelow's team would study people who reported unusual experiences beyond just seeing UFOs. A ranch in Utah, known for decades as the site of bizarre encounters, became a living lab for the study. The study produced volumes of highly technical scientific reports, including projections about warp drives and anti-gravity propulsion.
I think these studies are so loaded with information. The reason I say that is that we learned a lot, but one thing we did learn is that over the decades, there have a lot of things happened that there's no explanation for.
But at the Pentagon, there was pushback. Some worried the study would become an embarrassment if the word got out. Others opposed it on religious grounds. Bigelow funded it himself for a year, but AWSAP came to an end after 2011. Elizondo, who had interacted with the study from the Pentagon, was assigned to continue the work, but he chose a smaller focus, limited to military encounters with unknown aircraft. His network, dubbed ATIP, survived by keeping a low profile. Elizondo relied on an informal network of colleagues to investigate the cases that came in.
There were other folks that were related to our effort and that were part of our effort. It was a bit of a confederated approach. So you had folks in the Navy and pockets in DIA and pockets here and there throughout the department that we worked together collectively on this.
George Knapp, 8 News Now.
Now, the U.S. government has yet to formally release any of the files from the 2 different UFO programs, but we've obtained a few reports. You can find them on our website at lasvegasnow.com, along with a statement from one of the managers of the study and an interview about how the UFO videos were made public.
All those